The contrast is striking and raises some interesting conversations about fan engagement and value in women's basketball.
Iconic names, one historic date. On February 2nd, 2025, women's basketball will celebrate A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark in ways that cement their legacy forever. As fans debate whose impact is greater, ticket sales tell a story of their own, with Clark's jersey retirement commanding prices more typical of marquee NBA games. We're well past that, folks.
Guess what? A'ja Wilson's event isn't even sold out. Meanwhile, Iowa is opening new sections just to meet the overwhelming demand for Caitlin Clark's ceremony, same day, same honor. But worlds apart in demand, and have you heard how Wilson is reacting to all of this? It really makes you wonder what's going on here.
For that jersey retirement is official. Iowa announcing that on their game on February 2nd against USC, Clark's number 22 will be put in the rafters for good.
So why are tickets for A'ja Wilson's jersey retirement still struggling to sell even at such a bargain price? It's not like she's a nobody. We're talking about a WNBA MVP here. Yet somehow the buzz just isn't there. It's almost as if fans don't even realize she exists. Think about it. What does $16 usually get you at a sporting event? Maybe a hot dog and a small soda if you're lucky, but certainly not a seat to. Witness history. It's the kind of price that makes you wonder if there's a catch, but nope. That's the actual price to watch her jersey go up in the Raptors.
Wilson, the cornerstone of South Carolina's rise to prominence, will see her number 22 jersey retired at Colonial Life Arena when the Gamecocks face Auburn. A lot of people are pissed that this is the second day, or the same day. Now, I say a lot of people, A'ja Wilson fans, are pissed that it's the same day.
Now, I say a lot of people, A'ja Wilson fans, are pissed that it's the same day. Now, let's talk about the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. Iowa is literally opening up new sections to meet the overwhelming demand. Fans are treating these tickets like golden passes to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. The enthusiasm is off the charts, with people willing to stand for hours just to be in the same building as Clark during her jersey retirement. It's a level of excitement that feels almost unreal. She here at one. More time for number 22, Jay. Here's the real twist. This price gap isn't just about star power or recent achievements. It's about the impact these players have had on the game and the public's perception of women's basketball. Caitlin Clark has managed to capture the nation's attention in a way that transcends the sport. She's not just a basketball player. She's become a cultural icon. A'ja Wilson, despite her incredible career, hasn't quite reached that level of mainstream appeal. But this story is about more than just ticket prices. This tale of two retirements is just the tip of the iceberg in a much larger narrative. And how is Wilson reacting to all of this?
As I can tell, Caitlin Clark fans don't give a rip about A'ja Wilson's jersey retirement. However, in Iowa City, the retirement of Caitlin Clark's number 22 jersey at Carver Hawkeye Arena during Iowa's game against USC is shaping up to be a much bigger spectacle. And, of course, this was a tweet that went out talking about $200 to $784 with a bunch of tickets listed over 1,000.
Think that after 6 years, A'ja Wilson's jersey retirement would be a slam dunk celebration. But sometimes even the best shots get blocked. Let's break down how a single date turned into the most awkward double booking in WNBA history. Awkward for Wilson. That is February 2nd. 2025, mark it on your calendars, folks, because it's about to go down as one of the most celebrated days in women's basketball. On one side, we've got Caitlin Clark's jersey being raised to the rafters at Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City. On the other, A'ja Wilson's number is finally getting its due in Columbia, South Carolina, same day, same honor. But the vibe's totally different.
It's like in tears, y'all.
This, by the way, is driving A'ja Wilson fans nuts. They're furious that this is happening on the same day. Why are they doing this? Oh, my God. Don't they realize the impact of A'ja Wilson? Blah, blah. What impact? Stop it.
Oh, you might be wondering, how did the scheduling mess even happen? Well, it turns out Iowa had this plan since April 2024, right after Caitlin Clark retired from college basketball. While they never officially announced the date, February 2nd was pretty obvious. It's tied to her jersey number 22. They knew exactly what they were doing, strategically picking their only nationally televised weekend game, a marquee matchup against Juju Watkins in USC. It's like they were playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. But here's where it gets juicy. South Carolina decided to join the party months later, announcing Wilson's jersey retirement. For the exact same day coincidence, likely given that Wilson's jersey number is also 22, but Wilson is not taking this lightly. In fact, her fans are doing the talking for her. One Twitter user didn't hold back, asking, why would we all retire her jersey on the same day as Asia or y'all? Stupid ouch, the frustration is real, and it's spreading faster than highlights of A. Clark three-pointer will be the last to wear number 22, and you'll become the third Hawkeye women's basketball player in history to have her number retired. And that is what Beth GS had to say back in April as the Hawks wrapped up their second straight national runner-up season. Now, let's rewind a bit. Wilson and Clark don't exactly have a history of rivalry, but this situation is like throwing gasoline on a spark that wasn't even there before. So what does this mean for their legacies for? Wilson is like showing up to your own party only to find out someone else is a guest of honor 6 years after leaving South Carolina. She's finally getting her moment. Or is she? It's just another notch in Caitlin Clark's belt of game-changing moments. Iowa has been planning this since she played her last college game, carefully choosing a marquee matchup on a weekend. This isn't just a jersey retirement. It's an event. Here's the reality. Iowa had Clark's jersey set to rise to the rafters since the summer. Meanwhile, South Carolina waited 6 years to honor one of their greatest players, Asia Wilson, especially after unveiling her statue months ago.
Iowa taking on USC and Juju Watkins. Nationally televised game, I believe. February 2nd, 2-2, so it's 22. Everything about it lines up.
Signature line with Wilson, and Nike redefined how athletes could market themselves in their sport. Now Caitlin Clark is stepping into that legacy, showing that women can not only compete in this space, but dominate it. It's no wonder the WNBA is buzzing. Fans are celebrating, analysts are stunned, and critics, well, they're doing what they do best, criticizing. But let's not ignore the ripple effect this is causing. The WNBA, which has long been overshadowed by its NBA counterpart, is finally finding itself in the global spotlight, thanks largely to Clark. Her games are drawing record-breaking viewership with national broadcasts, pulling in over 1 million viewers per game. That's 3 times the league's average. Let that sink in 3 times. Now, if you think this is just a one-off, think again. Clark's impact isn't limited to TV ratings or presence, has revitalized the Indiana Fever, transforming them into one of the most talked-about franchises in the league. Fever merchandise sales has skyrocketed by over 1,000%, and arenas are packed with fans eager to see her in action. And it's not just the fans who are taking notice. Brands are lining up to associate themselves with her. Nike, Gatorade, and Bose are just a few of the companies that have inked deals with Clark, solidifying her stat streak as a global brand. Her Nike deal alone is worth a staggering $28 million, making her one of the highest-earning female athletes in history. This isn't just a moment, it's a movement, and Clark is leading the way.
Her the first athlete since Michael Jordan to get their own signature basketball from Wilson. She also becomes the first WNBA player to get her own signature basketball from Wilson.
The WNBA is buzzing, and for good reason. Caitlin Clark has just cemented her status as a one-in-a-century phenomenon. She's become the first athlete since Michael Jordan to secure her very own signature basketball shoe. Yes, that Michael Jordan, the most iconic and valuable athlete in the world. This milestone not only underscores Clark's extraordinary talent, but also highlights her immense influence on the sport, putting her in the same conversation as basketball's greatest legend.
It was like Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, probably eventually Caitlin Clark, where it's like individual people make an entire country tune into their sport.
1,000%.
Like hockey was never bigger than when Wayne Gretzky was playing it, and it was ridiculous how much it grew the sport.
Tiger Woods.
And Caitlin, she's already reached that level in just her rookie year in the WNBA. Her impact goes far beyond basketball fans. She's shaking up the entire sports world, proving that her influence is boundless and her star power undeniable. Congrats to her.
Congrats to her and her family. Yeah. The crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year when they played LSU, but she's phenomenal.
And her family, like the crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year when they played show, but she's phenomenal. Despite her achievement, Caitlin quickly found herself at the center of a media firestorm. The reason her honest remarks about privilege and race, which apparently struck a nerve with some people, proving that discussing these topics is still too much for certain individuals to handle.
I think Caitlin Clark is already one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time, purely for the fact of what
she has done on the court, and also the kind of eyeballs that she has brought to a sport that really never had this kind of fame behind it, this kind of fandom behind it.
After her Time magazine interview went live, the backlash came pouring in with critics attacking every word Caitlin Clark said. But here's the twist. Instead of backing down, Clark stood her ground. What followed was a wave of support from some of the most legendary figures in sports: LeBron, Serena, MJ. They all came out swinging to defend her. It was like the sports world's version of the Avengers assembling, and trust me, they were not here for her.
I feel like you have had to answer more questions than anybody about the intersectionality of race and gender and sexuality in sport.
The nonsense. And I feel like you have had to answer more questions than anybody about the intersectionality of race and gender and sexuality. In sport, Caitlin Clark found herself at the center of a media firestorm, but it wasn't because of her record-breaking performances or her signature three-point shots. No, it was because she had the audacity to be competitive, a crime apparently, when you're a woman. The backlash.
So focused and so competitive, and I love the game. I love playing. I love being in front of the fans. But over the course of probably the last two and a half years, it's all kind of changed where, it's hard to get a ticket whether we're at home or whether we're on the road.
Was as swift as it was ridiculous, with critics scrambling to label her a villain simply for doing what athletes do best, competing with passion. I'm so. Indeed, just when the noise from her critics reached a fever pitch, Caitlin Clark did what she does best. She took control of the narrative in a bold and groundbreaking interview with Time magazine.
The need to acknowledge her white privilege. Basically, she's sorry she's white. She feels really bad about it, though, so you should give her a pass.
Where she was named Athlete of the Year for 2024, she dropped a truth bomb that sent the media and the world into a frenzy. Feels the need to acknowledge her white privilege. Basically, she's sorry she's white. She feels really bad about it, though, so you should give her a pass in a world where
Player was Maya Moore. I know what this league was about. And like I said, it's only been around 25 plus years. So I know there's been so many amazing black women that have been in this league, and continuing to uplift them, I think, is very important.
Accountability is often ignored. Caitlin Clark dared to admit that her success wasn't just about her relentless work ethic. It was also shaped by the privileges she was born with. And if you think that was the end of it, buckle up, because Clark wasn't stopping. Their favorite player was Maya Moore. I know what this league was about him. And
stemming from Caitlin Clark's Time magazine interview, I could have never guessed that interview would stir up so much controversy.
I said, it's only been around 25 plus years. So I know there's been so many amazing black women that have been in this league, and continuing to uplift them, I think, is very important. Clark used her platform to shine a light on others.
The players of the WNBA can't fucking stand her. Why? Because she's white. It's abject, absolute racism.
She acknowledged the foundational role that black athletes like Maya Moore played in shaping the WNBA, highlighting how their contributions were instrumental in getting the league to where it is today.
To make, right? Maybe in any other year, you give this to Simone Biles, because I think her comeback in the Olympics was amazing. I mean, people pretty much did the postscript on her career. And after what happened to her in Tokyo, it's incredible. However, I mean, we've never, ever seen somebody in this way capture an audience, capture a new audience, and be able to absolutely attribute